Hi and welcome to another training video, and what we're going to have a look at today is a question I get asked quite a lot with how to apply a timeline on a pivot table or on pivot data. So here I've just got some data of car sales, and it is made up data as always, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this into a table. So Control T, and my data does have headers, and the reason Excel has automatically recognized that is because my headers are in a very slightly different format. But also, here I have text in the header, here I have currency. So Excel would have picked that up automatically even if it wasn't in bold, but it's a good idea to put your headers in bold. Click OK. This is now turned into a table. This lets me straight away summarize with a pivot table. It asks me where I want it to go, and the great thing about this is it now refers to the table range of table 1, which means if I add in any data at the bottom, my pivot table will refer to the new data as well. I don't need to redefine what is the pivot table pointing to. Click OK. Here's my pivot table, and what I want is I want to see basically see how these guys have done. So sale price, and we'll see how they've done by make, and I'll just reformat that as a currency. Okay, so there we have a simple pivot table, but what we want to see is we want to see this broken down by months. So what we're going to do is we're going to say insert timeline, but it doesn't let me put a timeline in here because it says there's no fields formatted as a date. But I have a field here called date. So let's go back and have a look at the data and see what the problem is. Well, the problem is that those there are not dates. Those there are text. And the reason I can know just at a glance is when I click in one of these cells, you see how I've widened it? It's left justified rather than right justified. Excel justifies left what it recognizes as text, justifies right what it recognizes as numbers. It should be recognizing the dates as numbers. Now the other way of knowing is to, with one of these selected, come up here and click on the drop down here. If they all show the same thing, then it means Excel has recognized it as text. What we need to do here is this particular data has come from a database of some sort, and it outputs dates with a dot separator. We need to change them so that they have a / separator, which is how Excel recognizes dates. Easiest way of doing this is a simple find and replace. So we say replace, what do we want to replace? We want to replace a dot with what? With a /, just replace all. You notice how straight away, as soon as I did that, they've all jumped across the right hand side because they're all now recognized as dates. If I now go back to this sheet here and simply refresh the data and try the same again, insert timeline, now it lets me do that because it recognizes the dates as a actual date format. Now what we do with this is we can put it underneath, and we can then split our actual data. We can choose when we want to see the data from, and by holding down Control I could choose different months, or I can stretch the range of months from here. So let's see the last half of the year. There we go. We can also, like I say, just click and drag there to extend the range to the entire year. You'll notice that all that does is apply a filter. So we could actually do it by applying a filter up here as well. To get rid of the date range, just make sure it's selected and press delete. I can also drag the date down into the filters here, and then apply a specific filter for individual days should I want to do that. Okay, that's what I've got for you. I hope it's explained slightly easier how to put the dates on as a timeline, but also more importantly how to actually make sure your dates are formatted as dates before you start. Okay, I hope it's been useful, and once more thank you again for listening.